is mighty cold.
Eskimo pussy is mighty cold.
Good.
Good.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Real good.
Real good.
Tastes good.
Tastes good.
Mighty good.
Mighty good.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for me.
Good for me.
Oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement.
Third divorces. First divorce 50-50. Or first
coin.
marriage 50-50. Second marriage is like between 60 and 68, depending upon the study you look at. Third marriages are from 70 to 76%. And then you can add other aggravating factors in there, like stepkids and money and blah, blah, blah.
4 sets of in-laws. Yeah. Oh, God.
No.
You might as well just slam your wang in a car door. It's probably less painful.
God damn. You're probably pretty much correct. Wow.
By the time you're, done, trying to bed down these alpha widows in their 30s and 40s, you're probably going to feel more doing that than you will sticking it in that bowl of warm soup.
Now, I'll add one more point to this. Shocker. You guys have probably looked into Rollo's books. She was in her epiphany phase, just turned 28, so she was right there.
Yep. They get to be about 28. That biological clock is like the only thing they can hear. That's why they all sleep with a fan on.
Well, 28 to 32 is baby rape years.
Yes.
Yep.
They go fucking nuts. They
Yes,
just want to
they
have
do.
that kid. Or I don't okay.
And this goes for all
women.
Feminists as well.
Welcome to Red Pill Rhino. Did Blake just say warm bowl of soup? That's the topic for tonight. You guys are going to enjoy this one. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Here we have Agent of Doubt, self-proclaimed leftist and SJW. Know the guy personally. However, I disagree with most of his views. We go way back, back before this social justice warrior nonsense. But let's see what he has to say, because this video is Response: A Warm Bowl of Soup. Grunt Speak Live featuring Red Pill Rhino. That's the title of his video. Let's give it a listen, shall we? I'll react as we go along.
Hey everybody, Agent of Doubt here, world's worst SJW, and today I want to talk about a show that I watched because my friend Ryan, Red Pill Rhino, he was able to get on a show called Grunt Speak Live on the Redonkulous channel, and it was broadcast on multiple different platforms. They're trying to promote going to everything but YouTube, the evil, censorious organization that they are, right?
And he probably doesn't have too much experience with that because he promotes their agenda. Susan likes good little boys like him. I'm just going to say it as it is. But for the rest of us that are talking about things like, the Rona and alternative treatments to that, including horse paste, those of us talk about MGTOW, Red Pill, I don't know, anything that isn't a bunch of bullshit, we get censored, throttled, and sometimes deleted or demonetized. So, but if you play ball with Susan, she's not going to mess with you too much. But let's go on from there.
And so they're talking about, Red Pill stuff, and their target audience is not me, but I wanted to see Ryan shine on a platform that gets thousands of views on all of these different places, the Rumble, the Twitch, the, YouTube. When you put it all together, it was like, tens of thousands of people were watching Ryan. And I was like, okay, the spotlight's on him, let's check it out. And so they were talking about, women troubles, because You know, it's red pill content, and one of the
Let me just stop them there. That is one of the problems of red pill content creators is some of them overemphasize the importance of women specifically, and they're not talking about bettering yourselves as men, which ideally is where I'd like to take my channel. Not so much, oh, women are terrible, but men, step it up. You can do better than this. So, yeah, red pill can kind of lean towards all women bad, but yeah, I don't personally believe that. Although, as Better Bachelor, oh, I'm plugging names again, as Better Bachelor puts it, it's a needle in a needle stack to find a good woman. They're out there, but gentlemen, that requires heavy vetting. I mean, you've got to know the last 20 years or credit report or criminal background. Every man she slept with, and you might as well interview them too. Why not? But yeah, nah, I see where he's coming from. But yeah, let's talk about being better men in the red pill community, shall we, gentlemen? Shall we? Let's try to push that direction a little bit more, because there's enough channels out there, fresh and fit, that expose every awful woman that exists. But again, they intentionally bring on low-value women that are, I don't know, for the streets, and they expose them. Which, great, they do. They do a great job of that. But we need more channels like Rich Cooper pursuing excellence. We need more men like that out there. So let's move on here.
things that they use as a term, you know, it was so flippant the way that they used it. Just like, you know, they'd used it 100 times before. It was
before he says it, you already know the term because, spoiler, it's already in the clip before. I don't think we all use it that often. I can't think of any other instance other than Blake saying it there that it's been used. However, there's going to be some legitimate reason behind it. So I'm going to back that up. I got my boy Blake's back, and I'm going to expose why here shortly.
a warm bowl of soup. And this is a term that they use to describe the tactile response of a vagina that has been used too many times when you are trying to make love to it. They call it a warm bowl of soup.
Yeah, well,
and of course, this is meant to instill in all of their brethren in one short term this concept they're trying to get across to people that
he could go for some more red pill content. This man here needs your help. Please send him more red pill content. Yeah, I don't think our brethren are all trying to understand the term warm bowl of soup that much, but as far as I'm not going to reveal quite yet, but we'll get there.
women should have less partners in order to be more attractive to men.
Gee, I wonder why that is. Well, we could get into some science on that, maybe. What do you think about some science? We could also just go with the opinion of men. Men, do you like a woman that has seen every Tom, Dick, and Harry in town and has been bedded down by them? Or would you rather have a woman with a low body count? Now, there is some science behind this, but what would you prefer? In the comments below, would you rather have a woman with a high body count or a low body count? Please comment below and let me know. Also, tell your personal stories, because those are always good. I got to comment on a few of your posts. I've seen them. I just haven't had a chance to comment yet. Also, hit the like button right now, because when I start going live, I'm going to need to see likes. We got to get these up. I need to know that you guys are watching, and the only way to know that is by seeing your likes. Also, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share this content, will you? Also, I probably should start using a pop filter on here. My S's and P's are coming through a little harsh tonight. Sorry, guys. And as far as the hiss in the background, I've run a couple different programs to try to eliminate that. Really, it comes down to I've got to switch out my mic eventually. So forgive me, we're getting there. This is already mic 2 to try to reduce it a little bit. It's annoying, and I know I am using a noise gate. So I'm trying, but we'll get there. But anyway, share this content with your friends, coworkers, other guys that might need to see it. And like I said, comment. Would you rather have a low body count woman or a high body count woman, and why? I can predict the answer already for the majority of you, but let's just see in the comments below.
I'm not saying that they're hypocrites at all by pointing this out, because they're also in the same show saying that men should be more selective in finding partners. So
absolutely correct. And I say repeatedly here that you guys need to do your homework and vet these women a lot. I mean, you should be talking to her for 6 months to a year before you even consider being serious with her. So that's how serious I am about this. If you guys aren't doing that, well, you're going to find out in 2 to 3 years that you may have taken a bad bet. And by then, that's going to cost you half of your stuff. Especially if common law marriage kicks in. Even if you didn't marry her, you still might be entitled to, or she still might be entitled to half your stuff. Oh, and don't think living in a different home saves you, because there's case law on that where she still got the guy even though they didn't live together. So keep that in mind, guys.
So I am saying that it's rather prudish and unforgiving of people's past, and doesn't really give the chance for forgiveness and redemption.
Yes, but your choices have consequences. Am I supposed to forgive you for a decade of CC writing when, again, we can just go back to men sleep with who they can, women sleep with who they want. Therefore, women have the opportunity to rack up their body count on any given night. They can go out to the bar, they can meet one guy, another guy, and rack up 3 to 5 bodies in an evening, whereas men, on a good day, they might get a double hitter, but that's about it. This concept of forgiveness. Now, keep in mind this gentleman here. He is, without revealing too much of his personal information, because I don't want to do that. We don't dox here, but he does do some therapy. Okay, so he tries to rehabilitate people. So I get where he's coming from with the forgiveness idea, but just because I can forgive you for your past transgressions doesn't mean I'm going to accept you into my life. Does that make sense? This is the thing, guys. If she has a high body count, she has a higher likelihood of promiscuity, right? We all know that. But there's more to it than that. There is research behind this. I'll just drop a hint. Oxytocin in women is very important. And as a psychologist, you would think we would have gone a little bit further than warm bowl of soup. Agent of doubt?
At all. They even made fun of girls that at a certain age decide to go to church, and then all of the men that they slept with in the past don't count because...
Right. No, women do this. They I think I just did a video on that. That was my last video. I was talking about this, the rise of chameleon females. That's exactly it. No, my sexual past doesn't matter anymore. I've had a change of heart. I'm religious now. No, it still matters, and it still absolutely counts. A woman who has had a high sexual body count in her past is damaged goods. Now, why don't we apply this to men, do you ask? Well, in nature, pair bonding is important to women. I'm gonna break this down a little bit, and then we're gonna go further into a deep dive in this. But let's just scratch the surface here. So for men, we are able, basically, from the time you hit puberty until the day we die, to procreate. Therefore, we are designed in nature to spread our seed as much as possible. This is biological. This hasn't changed just because society stepped in and said, well, you should be married to one person for the rest of your life and happily ever after under mostly the control of religious groups. That's where this is founded. Marriage is an institution founded based on either passing down property, land. This is getting into royalty, things like that. Exchanging of value, which all relationships are transactional. All of them. A lot of women like to disagree with that, but it's true. Men want youth, fertility, beauty, sexual access. Women want provisioning. All relationships are transactional. But anyway, back to that. So the church got in, and it's a form of control. It's an indoctrination technique. It's putting restraint on a natural process. But let's not go too far into this idea. Let's just stick to this. Women throughout history have a window. This hasn't changed. Science hasn't changed. Evolution, up to this point, hasn't changed. The 6,000 years of recorded history that I'm aware of, women have what's called a window of fertility. So from the time she hits puberty until about 35. And I would even push that back to 30, because after 30, the risk of disabilities in the children increase. And, this gets worse the later she pushes off the pregnancy. The chance of Down syndrome, autism, and so forth and so on, the likelihood increases. That's not an insult. That's how it is. The eggs that are at the end here aren't quite as good as the ones in the beginning, which is why, again, men look for youth and fertility. It's there for a reason. There's actually a term for that. Men will look for neotenous women. Neoteny is the concept of youth. They will look for younger women. Now, he'll touch on this, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, the way he worded this. He puts in a phobia term here. But biologically, that is how men are programmed. They've always been programmed that way. Just like women are programmed to want older men for the reason that they are better capable of provisioning. Their frontal cortex is fully developed. They're capable of making rational, logical decisions. And usually, throughout history, they have their ish together. So that means they may have a savings account, a 401k going, a good career, a house, a car, are able to provide for her and their children if she sees he's so fit to have them with her. But men, we want youth, fertility. So, and I'm going to add to this just before we get back into the video. The point of this is women have a fertility window. Therefore, they are inclined to pair bond with the best possible mate in order to spread the best genes. Men want to spread their genes as far and wide as they can. Gang, it's gone. Looking at you. That's just how it is biologically. I think we can say the science is settled on that. So why would a high body count in a woman, I don't know, between the ages of 18 and 27, because we're going to call that the cutoff, 18 and 27. Why would that be important? She has a high body count, 28 plus. By the time she hits 30, she's on the discount rack. Her fertility window is closing. The likelihood of problems with that child goes up. And by 35, most of those eggs have dried up. Therefore, kind of out of the equation for most men. Now you're going to say, well, I don't want kids. So, okay, great. That doesn't matter. But what are you more attracted to? The young hot model on the Budweiser ad or the 35-year-olds around you who've put on a few pounds, starting to go a little saggy, a little soft, and have some crow's feet and wrinkles? Which one would you pick? Gentlemen, which one? You going to lie to me and say, oh, well, all women are beautiful at any size and any age? Yeah, come on. We know that's crap too. We're looking for an hourglass figure. Youth and fertility are imprinted into our brains as what we want. But let's continue.
They are new virgins in the eyes of the Lord, and they were making fun of that. So they're not allowed.
No, we're not making fun of that. We're pointing out that that's not how it works. You can't just wash away 50 guys in your 20s. It's not going to happen. So we're not really making fun of it. We're pointing out that you can't erase the damaged pair bonding that you've created. You've ridden the CC, which means your oxytocin has rewired your brain. There's studies on this.
Allowing for people to become more monogamous to become more attractive if they've had a past. So, and this is standard fare, right? But the term warm bowl of soup, it stood out to me as being shocking to me when I heard it, but completely normal to them.
Right, and that's based on my understanding that he doesn't watch a lot of red pill content, so he's seeing this as, what is that, sticker shock? Oh, no, that's crazy. What is this? I never expected to hear terms like that, or I never expected a price so high. He's experiencing sticker shock, the fact that we can just casually throw around words like that. And I get it to a degree, but once you understand the implications behind such a loose term, loose, get it? Then it becomes more clear why, no, it's really not funny. It's just the best term that Blake had at that moment for what it is.
Right, completely normal. Just flowed off of their tongue. You know, said it. They said it multiple.
You know what flows off a lot of women's tongues, don't you, gentlemen?
Times in the show, and it got me to thinking. Let's say one of these guys, the Grunt Speak Live guys, or Ryan, were to get the woman of their dreams, the one, right? Like they find the.
Gentlemen, in the comments below, what cardinal sin did he just commit there? I know you guys know it. The myth of, there's a word he said, followed by itis. What did he just say? Is this such a thing? Please comment below. I know you guys are watching. I know you red pill guys are on here. What sin did he just commit? What belief system does he have here that's flawed? And this is a skeptic. This is a guy who spent a good decade being skeptical about anything and every subject that ever came up. So what sin did he commit? Not religious sin, red pill sin. Which one did he commit? What term did he say that does not belong?
The perfect woman for them.
I'm going to add to that. There is no perfect woman. There's no perfect man either, but there is no perfect woman, period.
Are they going to want to have sex with the perfect woman?
Okay, this is where he goes out on a limb here, and this is why I'm responding to this. This is the whole reason for this video. Let's just continue. Let's listen to what he has to say. I'm going to let him make his point, and then hopefully correct it.
Like, is it something where, like, you would not want your perfect woman to then become a warm bowl of soup for you, so then you have to meter out how much sex you can have? Like,
I'm going to say there is some... Bear with me, because I'm going out on a limb here. This is not... But I'm going out on a limb. There's some argument to be said that after you have an encounter with the same woman over and over and over and over again, your sexual desire will go down for her. But again, that goes back to biology and 6,000 years of recorded human history in which we can prove definitively that men want to spread seed to as many women as possible. Therefore, they will get bored in a monogamous relationship. A high-value man will have the opportunity to cheat. It doesn't mean he'll act on it, but he absolutely will have the option, which creates a sense of dread in that woman, which in turn creates new and exciting sexual positions. But that's only if he's a high-value man. If he's not, he may still have those proclivities to want to go outside of the relationship, and he may even act on it. I know a lot of these red pill guys lately are saying if he's a high-value man, he will cheat. There's an argument to be made for that if he is a seven-figure earner and living the high life, that he may have a concubine of sorts. He'll have the main chick, which is the wife, and he'll have a harem on the side chicks. There's an argument to be made there. That's possible. But for the average to slightly above average and high value man in that range, It is more important that you are high value enough that other men want to be you and other women want to fuck you. Period. That's the bottom line. And that's where you guys need to get before you even consider dating. But more importantly, you're doing that for yourself and not for women. But when you're in a relationship, that woman will absolutely be able to see that in you because you have, in fact, maximized on all fronts that you can. You can't change your height. You can't change your age. You can't change your size, gentlemen. Maybe with a few tools, a few pills. I don't know. But in general, you're stuck where you're at. But you can work on your career, having more income. You can work on your body, your physique, working out, going to the gym. Those are things you can change, which already put you above 70% of men in this country. Oh, no, excuse me, worldwide that are out of shape, overweight, and the average man is making less than $40,000 a year. So if you increase those two things, you're already off to the races. But anyway, that's the only thing I can say about that relating to what he's saying here. As far as what he's trying to get at, I'll let him go a little bit longer, and then I'm just gonna, yeah.
Like, we're not doing it 3 times a day, right? Forget the honeymoon.
I'm sorry. He is going to then try to say that because he's assuming that a red pill man doesn't like women with a high body count, therefore that makes her, I don't know if he's trying to compare this to loose, which we know that's not biologically true. We know that a woman can dilate quite wide and still go back to her original size. So we already know that's not what men mean by that, although the Arby's roast beef and cheddar argument has been made by Pop many times, sitting on a dashboard in a catcher's glove in the hot sun for a week. The Arby's roast beef and cheddar. The inner labia doesn't work that way, guys. I'm just going to say that now. Now, there have been some run-through punitis out there, and I've experienced those. Yeah, they can get worn out, but they're not going to change shape, size, or tightness. That's not how it works. And also, Kegels are a thing, guys. Come on, let's think with our big heads. The vagine does not change just because it had 10 miles of dialcohol. However, the chemistry in her brain does.
Moon phase. We need to put this on a shelf and save it for special occasions. Like, we do not want the tactile response to get any less tight than it is.
He
when we
missed the
first
mark
met.
completely.
So, like, we cannot have this warm bowl of soup situation in the perfect relationship. So we need to have sparingly very little amounts of sex throughout the relationship. Is that how it works?
No.
In order to keep
if you find yourself the needle in a needle stack and you get with her, first of all, fit, feminine, friendly, and fertile. But I would also say an important part of that relationship is feminine, being submissive. Therefore, if you want to raw dog her 10 times a day, by all means, gentlemen, do so. This idea of putting it on a shelf and using it sparingly so that it doesn't get loose, he missed the point of warm bowl of soup entirely. But, this will help him get views, so why not? And this is a fun topic.
Frankly, from an outside perspective, the SJW perspective, I don't see these guys as being pedophiles per se, but
this is the part that rubs me the wrong way. I don't see them as being pedophiles necessarily. Good, because I can't think of a single red pill individual that I've ever watched, spoken to, been on a show with. I can't think of a single one that comes even close to that. Although there's a lot of people on the left, SJWs, trying to groom your children. So there's that. I would call that pedophilia. But what do I know?
they border on ephebophilia.
Here we go.
Because their ideal woman is watertight like a booty hole on a duck, you know.
Again, he's missing the point, but do we like neoteny? The signs of youth, you know, tight skin, youthful, fertile, hourglass figure, wide waist to wide hip to waist ratio? Yeah, we do. That's every man, including this one, including him. As much as he'll argue, or maybe fight back, push back. Well, no, women are beautiful at any age and size. But again, let's just give you the option. You've got the 35-year-old or his age, or the Budweiser model, or the Maxim model, or the Playboy model. Which one did you pick? Because most of those are under 25.
Like, they're aiming at a certain fertility and a certain purity.
Yep.
Right? And I'm just like, you can't keep that forever.
Really? Because there's guys right now in their 40s and 50s still dating women in their 20s, and it's actually working out better than men in their 40s and 50s dealing with the woman they can barely stand, who is a hard-headed, pain in the royal ass to deal with. But, let's argue that you can't keep that forever. Yeah, you can. Who's that actor? Is it, I can't think of his name. Leonardo DiCaprio, is it? There's one actor out there that after she hits like 25 or something, he dumps her and then gets a younger model. If you're high value enough and you've worked on yourself, you can keep that going forever. Or you can simply, in your 40s, date somebody that's 20 and she's going to remain youthful to you regardless, because from your perspective as an older man, she's still younger than you. You're going to see that difference. So, you can definitely attain that for a lifetime.
It's
Oh, not to mention, have kids with her while she's in her 20s and raise those kids with her and be far more successful than trying to date in your age bracket, which these women are flown out and blown out, yachted and thoughted, rode the CC for a decade or two, went into cougar phase, did the same thing all over again. Why can't I find a good man? And they're still waiting for the good man to come along and save them. I'd much rather deal with, 20 to 25. I'd much rather deal with that than these old, bitter, hateful, third wave raging feminists, for sure.
It's like, even if you were to get into the relationship with this perfect woman, you yourself
There is no perfect woman.
are going to want to be in a real relationship with them and not have to worry about, am I keeping her as pure as she could be for me? It's like, wow. It's kind of a...
I don't know any
mind-bender
content
for me.
creator, any
Like,
red pill
once-
guy that thinks that.
Once you get with the girl, then you want her to put out as much as you want.
Correct.
Whenever you want.
Yes.
But then she's going to become exactly the thing that you despise.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
And then it hit me that there's actually something in the world that is worse than a warm bowl of soup if you're going to make love to something and it has a certain texture to it. and whatnot. The thing that would be worse than a warm bowl of soup would be a cold bowl of soup. That would be horrible.
Hence the reason for the opening on the video, guys. He does have some humor in his videos. I get that he likes to get a reaction out of people, and he low-key trolls. You can kind of see the smirk on his face throughout this video, but I don't know if he truly believes what he's saying here or if he's just trying to get the reaction. He's getting the reaction because I need to correct it so that you guys who may stumble across it aren't fooled into believing that's what men are thinking, because that is absolutely not what the red pill community is trying to get across here. Also, if you guys haven't commented yet, I'll just say it. His cardinal sin was saying one-itis. He still believes in one-itis. Obviously, this man has pursued relationships in his past thinking they were the one. They end up not being the one, but he still has the belief that there is the one out there. Whether we know that for a fact or not from his own words, I can't say. But I can tell you the fact that he says it means he still has that belief set in him. One-itis is the cardinal sin. There is no one. And there are no perfect women, nor are there any perfect men. That was a cardinal sin. One-itis. If you have it, stop it. There is no such thing as the one. There are plenty of ones out there for you. There's 7 billion people on the planet. I'm sure you're going to find more than one that's a suitable, double monkey backflips, as Coach Greg Adams would say, that will fulfill your needs and get on her knees. There's more than one.
So, like, Canadian feminists. That would be the worst thing for red pill people to make love to.
Any
Pretty
feminist.
sure. And that's probably why they obsess on the Canadian feminists more than the other feminists, like the Chanty Binkses of the world. They're really obsessed with those, but even if they weren't feminists,
It's not obsession so much as it's really easy to expose that kind of feminist for what she really is. So, I can't argue with him there. Any man that has the terrible odds of laying down with a feminist, I'm sorry. And if you did it for a pump and dump, fine. More power to you, as long as you got out of there before she woke up. But, yeah. Even then, you got to be careful because these are the Me Too women. So, he graped me. Oh, boy. And there you go. And she may say it 20 years from now. And, whoops, there goes the rest of your life.
they'd still be cold. They're Canadian. So
Yeah.
those are my thoughts on soup today. I think I'm gonna go have lunch and not have soup. Take care.
All right. So before I lose all steam here because it's getting late as usual because I record these late at night, let's get into some information to back up what I'm saying here. What happens to your brain after having too much casual sex? You could make it harder for yourself to permanently bond with someone. This is coming from siloveyou.xyz. We're going to peruse through this really quick because I want to keep this one short. Just get done with it. We're just going to skip past all this, blah, blah, blah. Love sex in the brain. Biological anthropologist Dr. Helen Fisher suggests not to have sex with someone unless you're prepared to fall in love with them. In her work outlined in the video, casual sex doesn't exist. She speaks of how humans have evolved 3 brain systems when it comes to finding and, most importantly, keeping a partner. The brain system, the sex drive, craving for sexual gratification, romantic love, elation, giddiness, euphoria, and craving of passionate, obsessive love, attachment, a feeling of calm and security with a long-term partner. This applies, again, this study is going to suggest both sexes, but this is more geared towards women and the way their brains are developed. It is possible to be in love with someone before sex, or the opposite occurs where you catch feelings after doing the deed. There is no control over which the brain regions would light up, leading to romantic love or attachment. Any of these systems could fire up in any combinations or all 3 at once. Hormones released during orgasm, such as oxytocin and vasopressin, also primes us for bonding with our partners. Sex is more than the physical act. Yeah. So pair bonding, we're going through these as quickly as we can. Research from the Medical Institute for Sexual Health, guys, there is a study on this, goes to illustrate the importance of oxytocin when it comes to bonding. Casual sex leads to a decrease in this neurochemical production and interferes with what is called pair bonding. And this is something women need in order to be with their partner long term and not jump back to hypergamy and looking for the next best thing. This pair bonding is important, and this is damaged if they have too many sexual partners. Repeated sexual encounters with multiple partners rewires the brain. Here we go. When an individual chooses to engage in casual sex, breaking bond after bond with each new sexual partner, the brain forms a new synaptic map of one-night stands. This pattern becomes a new normal for the individual. When and if the individual later desires to find a more permanent partner, the brain mapping will have to overcome, making a permanent bond more difficult to achieve, if not impossible. So what you're doing, ladies, if 3 of you are watching right now, the 3 of you that watch, what you're doing if you have casual sex, you're rewiring your brain to have one-night stands. Therefore, your possibility later on in life to have a long-term relationship is destroyed. Warm bowl of soup, ladies and gentlemen. And then it gets into mental health, and obviously, there you go. It reported an increase in both depressive symptoms and a feeling of loneliness. 10 miles of Diakaha is going to do that to you. Lower levels of happiness, higher anxiety and depression levels. Yep, it feels good tonight, but it's not going to feel good from 40 to 80, and that's a long time. Is hookup culture wrong? I don't really need to get into that. The takeaways, you can read this article. I'll post it in the description below. The science of monogamy. We can just skip all past that. Point is, women are biologically programmed to pair bond, to pass down the best genes. They're not designed to sleep with as many partners as possible. And as you can see from this, it rewires the brain for one-night stand thinking. And that screws you up long term. So you can go, let's go back. You can go and find this. I'm not going to click it here. The Medical Institute for Sexual Health has studied this. There you go. Bam. Do I need to say any more? But sure, I will. Next article. So how many is too many? Experts reveal the number of sexual partners you've had could determine how likely you are to get a divorce. Shocker. After everything I just said, you'd think I don't even need to read this. We'll just scroll down. This is going to be a little bit choppy. With all these ads, garbage. The study has found out a number of sexual partners you've had could determine whether your marriage will last. Nicholas H. Wolfinger, professor of family and consumer studies at the University of Utah. Oh my, are we using actual scientific studies? Wow, it's almost like warm bowl of soup has a meaning behind it. Studied statistics. Blake, we ought to just coin this in the red pill community. Warm bowl of soup is a great term, actually, once we understand why. Studied statistics from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's National Survey of Family Growth going back as far as the 1970s. Keep on going. He looked at divorce rates after 5 years of marriage and the number of sexual partners American women had before tying the knot. The study found that women marrying since 2000, those with 10 or more partners, were the most likely to divorce, but Professor Wolfinger says this only became true in recent years. Because women are far more promiscuous now. The highest 5-year divorce rates are all associated with marrying in the 2000s and having 10 or more premarital sex partners. 33%, he wrote in the report. Perhaps it is not unexpected that having many partners increases the odds of divorce. Shocker. The great surprise is that this only holds true in recent years. Well, that's because culture has changed in the recent years as well. Up until recently, I would say throughout human history, it wasn't common for women to sleep around. It really wasn't. Now it's commonplace. So yeah, things are changing. Anyway, I don't think we need to read this whole article, but basically, you have a higher chance of divorce if you sleep around. Bottom line. Now, let's just cap it off with this. Your likelihood of divorce in modern culture, based on some of this background information now, or whether or not it's that or other factors as well. No-fault divorce is a big problem in this country too and should be ended. Yeah, I said it. Your likelihood of divorce is 50% first-time marriage, 80% second-time marriage, and here's another 80% of women file for divorce. So your likelihood of even having a successful marriage to begin with is pretty low. You can also check out the Timcast video. Better Bachelor covered it as well, talking about a female psychologist that works with women. And a lot of these women are reporting saying that the first marriage is for money, the second marriage is for love. Well, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that culture, gentlemen, and I don't know why you would either. But anyway, sure, you'll wish you knew these things about you, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, if you want to read these articles, I'm going to post them in the description below. It stops here, just so you know, on the screen. That's another article. But yeah, there are scientific studies on this. I don't need to go too much longer because this is already a long video, but the articles are below. I'll link his channel as well as Gruntspeak Live's channel in the description below. Go give his channel a look. Please be kind. We're not going to go to anybody else's channel to trash talk them, to harass them. That's not, if you guys are watching my channel, no, we're not going to do that here. So be respectful if you go over there. Same thing with Gruntspeak. If you go over there, be on your best behavior. Can't tell you guys to do with your life, but I don't condone it. So I'm highly recommending that you don't do it. And if I find out about it, you won't be on my channel anymore because I'm not going to have it and I'll ban you right away. So don't go over to these channels and cause problems. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day, evening, weekend, whatever it is where you're watching this video. And like me, hate me, love me, loathe me, Red Pill Rhino signing out.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.